beautiful souls. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Michelle. We talk all things like love, spirituality, law of attraction, and all of that juicy goodness. In this video, we are going to discuss one thing that is probably holding up a lot of your manifestations. And a lot of times my clients hop on Zoom with me and they are so unaware of this one thing. And it is literally the one door that they have to break open to allow so many manifestations in, and they've been keeping this door shut. They've had the key inside of them all along, but they've been holding on to the secret and not allowing it out. And the secret is your triggers. If you go throughout your day and you pay attention to every small little thing that brings you an anxious feeling, it could be a sense of getting in trouble, it could be a sense of losing control. Any situation, say you're talking with somebody and you feel like you can't keep up in the conversation, maybe you don't feel worthy or feel good enough. These small little triggers are the key to your manifestations, because the universe is bringing you situation after situation to help you see what you need to heal and release. So if you can think of your nervous system as your magnet, okay, it is what is calling in all of your desires. And essentially, it is freeing you up to live a happy and joyful life without your desires. But once we master this, then every day is like this beautiful unfoldment of magic. So I've learned this on my journey. I learned it from my mentor. I'm watching so many other videos about this. So your triggers are keeping you bound. They're keeping your nervous system tight. And when your nervous system is open and flowy and in your feminine receptive energy, you receive miracles a heck of a lot faster. But when you're anxious and you're tight and you feel really wound up, you are not open to receiving. It's like your magnet turns off, or essentially you end up attracting more situations to cause you to trigger yourself so that you can become more aware of it. So I was on a client call this morning and I was trying to bring awareness to the situation where the universe was showing my client where she was not free. It was showing her by triggering her in these small moments. She would get a text message from somebody who works at her company. And every time she would get a text, and it could be a really simple text like, "Hi, how are you?" But it's somebody from her business, she immediately thinks everything is falling apart. In her younger years, she was learning to cook for her mom who wasn't able to show up for her. And in these situations, her nervous system was fearful. If I don't do this, because my mom, my caretaker, is not showing up for me. So if I don't do it, then we die, we don't get food, we don't have shelter. So if we translate that and fast forward to the future, she's running a business now. And if she's not there doing it all, it's all going to fall apart and she's going to die. She's not going to be able to provide for her family and everything's going to crumble. So that little version of her, the root of her trigger was from childhood, where she grew up in her masculine energy, feeling the burden, feeling the responsibility to save her family. And no child should ever have to go through that. But as souls, we choose these experiences to grow us and to expand us. So here she is at a young age cooking meals for her family. And now her passion and purpose is a restaurant business. So it was almost like the universe was planting her in that environment to show her her talents and her gifts. So now as an adult, she's doing her mission. She's there showing up, feeding the world, but her body is still responding as if she's that young girl feeling the pressure to provide for her family and to have responsibility. The burden is on her. So the universe was giving her these triggers. It was showing her where she is not free. And we can receive manifestations and still feel this way. And unfortunately, the manifestations don't feel as good because we still are getting triggered. So I'm here to teach you to look at your triggers. Look at the moments where you feel like, am I getting in trouble? Oh my gosh, or is everything going to fall apart? You're really looking at what your mind and body is telling you. So we have to get to the root, and then you have to ask yourself the deep question: what is showing up inside of me right now? What part of me feels out of control? When did I feel out of control as a child? And you go back to that younger version of yourself. And in the moment of the trigger, you sit with that younger version of yourself and you tell them, "You're safe now. I got you. We are no longer responsible for other people. We are no longer going to take on this burden. We trust in a higher power. We know that we are always provided for, and it is not our job to save anybody or to do anything for anyone but ourselves. There is a higher power that is out there protecting everybody, and we are just here for the experience to grow our own souls, to evolve, and to inspire others. So when we take the burden off in the moment that the trigger is happening, we allow the feeling to be there. And when you allow shame, guilt, responsibility, pressure, when you allow it there, it kind of dissipates out of your nervous system. And you're like, oh my gosh, that trigger has been keeping my nervous system so tight for so long. And as soon as I learn to manage my emotions when they happen, now my life is so much more magical, and manifestations are still coming in, but they're coming in quicker. And I'm sitting in them longer and appreciating them. And we were also talking to my client about how she was on a vacation and she was just like, oh my gosh, I manifested this. I manifested this trip. I manifested a beautiful family, a partner, yummy sunshine, yummy drinks. And she was like, she had like a pinch me moment. And she was just like, man, how come I haven't appreciated this before? So the mind likes to play tricks. It likes to keep you on that loop of suffering. So even when you're in a manifestation that you've been wanting for years, it will somehow find a way to get you thinking about what you still don't have or what's next, or you should be at home working. And we have to be incredibly mindful. So this one tip in this video, becoming aware of your triggers, being able to manage your emotions in that moment, allowing the feeling to be there, finding the root, hugging that younger child, telling them that they're safe and they don't have to do that thing that they're doing anymore, that they're loved, they can trust that the universe is always going to protect them. This is what is going to change your life. You are going to co-create the most beautiful existence because one, you're witnessing the ego and you're always seeing how it's trying to pull you off of your high horse. You're allowed to be up there. You're allowed to be experiencing good. So stay there longer. Two, you're learning to manage your triggers in the moment. And three, you're seeing that these triggers are what's blocking you from your desires because you're still not free. If you're continued to be triggered, the universe is going to keep bringing you situations to trigger you until you get to the root and until you address the little version of you that is crying out for some love and attention. Every trigger is your younger self pulling on your pant leg saying, hey, look at me. I need love. I need attention. I don't feel safe. I feel scared. And we need to hold that younger version of us and tell them that they're safe now. And these tips are going to enhance your life and make it more rich and beautiful because you're going to feel so empowered that the mind is no longer controlling your reality. And then you can really start manifesting cool things because you're planting the seed at night when you go to bed, you're dropping it into your subconscious over and over and over again. Because the more consistent we are, and I have some other videos that I'll link here that talk about the subconscious and how important it is to plant seeds at night, right before bed. And the more consistent you are, the more the universe sees that DoorDash every single night and it's going to deliver it. But it will only deliver it if you do what I'm teaching in this video. You pay attention to your triggers and heal them. Do not shoo them aside and just say, okay, I'm having anxiety right now. This means a manifestation is on the way. Yes, it does, but you have to address the anxiety. Why are the anxious feelings there? What does your inner child still need help with? Because every trigger, every anxious feeling is teaching us something. So please don't forget this. If anything is making you feel a certain way, we have to go within, ask ourselves, what is coming up right now? Is my mind creating the story, or is this something from childhood that I need to address? Because if you have a fear of getting in trouble, if you have a fear of losing control, this all stems from childhood. And when we get to the root of the situation where that happened, we can then tell ourselves that's not our job anymore. We are safe and we are protected. And now we can relax. And that opens up that nervous system, and the vortex can drop in all of your manifestations and you can actually enjoy them. And you can sit in them and it can be really juicy and yummy, and you're not waiting for the next hit. the next dopamine high. You're really sitting with your life going, I just love my life. And maybe not a lot of manifestations are coming in, but the existence that I'm in my own head and in my heart feels so peaceful. That is the ultimate win. And that is the most rewarding feeling, knowing that you got yourself there. You freed yourself. So please like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell so we can get this message out there to more people to set them free. I am sending you so much love, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out.